and former military. Thank you, sir.
Hello. Shall we invite His Excellency Ambassador of the Republic of Benin?
Alhaji Teju Karim. Teju Karim, please.
Z Mirage.
Representing His Excellency, the Governor of Kwara State, is the Honorable Commissioner for Culture and Tourism, Dr. Aminat. You're most welcome to the Gateway State.
I think all our fathers are back on their seats. And I think I'll quickly make my speech and I'll declare this 2019 African Drum Festival open. Let me start with my wife. Thank you for your support. Thank you for being here with us. All our former governors, my apologies, I should actually have recognized you first. Thank you. I appreciate you. I really thank you for always having the time. Whenever we are having any of our programs like this, you have always been forthcoming. Thank you. It shows the love we have, not just for me, but truly for our dear state of the state, in which you have all served. Thank you. Deputy Governor, Mr. Speaker, all other officials of the states that are here with us. Mama, Mrs. Obasanjo is here. Let me thank all our KBCs. I want to thank in a special way the Oni and Olori. Thank you. I want to thank all our KBCs, all the Ogun State Traditional Council, ably led by Babawa, Baba Lake, thank you. All our paramount rulers, thank you, sirs. Our Oloris, our mothers, thank you, because some of you actually came with our fathers. So thank you. Mama Basojo, I think I've actually greeted you. Thank you. There's so many of our elders here. The representative of Ikuba Waye, thank you, sir. Baba Waladigolu, thank you. We really cannot thank you enough. There are several of my brother governors that are being represented here by their Honorable Commissioner for Culture. Thank you. I saw Chief Jibuno here. Thank you, sir. Kabiyesi Olugun, thank you. All our Kabiyesis that are here. Several of our elders are here. CJ, my apologies. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank you. All my lords that are here, thank you. There are so many people here, so please, there's no way I will be able to capture everybody. But let me single out somebody. I deliberately left him behind. It's like I want to save the best for the last, and that is our revered elder, Professor Wole Soyinka. Thank you, sir. Thank you, and thank you. The representative of the Honorable Minister of Information and Culture, thank you, sir. Thank you for your kind words. Thank you for the advice, and thank you to the Ministry of Federal Ministry of Culture, Federal Ministry of Information and Culture. Thank you. Now let me thank all the members of the organizing committee, ably led by the Deputy Governor. Thank you, well done, well done. The SSG, thank you. Jumoke is here, thank you. Sleepless nights. I don't want to pick some of you out because everybody worked. Grandmother is here, thank you, Mrs. Yewande Amosun. Several of them, everybody worked running around. There's no way I'm going to forget Teju Karim. Thank you, Jide, everybody, everybody that is running around to make this happen, thank you. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, members of the media, thank you. Security agencies, thank you. All body of permanent secretaries, thank you. When we first came up with the idea of a drum festival in 2016, its purpose was to celebrate and promote our country's cultural heritage through drums, because of our conviction that the cultural reawakening in our people is a fitting tool for continued social, economic, and political development. Irelu, thank you, but I'm sure you have been up here, so thank you, man. Iyalode was here, thank you. Several of the people, Mama and Baba Dewalu, thank you. Please, my apologies, I recognize all of you. We tagged the Maiden Festival, the Nigerian Drum Festival, and we were so delighted that the success of that event, which held between April 19th and 22nd in 2016, was an eye-opener. Indeed, everybody, before we left the festival ground, they said this is too good to be left alone for just our people in Nigeria, and that it should be African Drum Festival. Indeed, some even said that we must now name it World Drum Festival. And after everybody putting in their different suggestion, advice, opinion, we realized that truly, we have to expand the scope, and that is why we now have African Drum Festival. Indeed, we started since the second edition in 2017. Of course, the festival in the very first year featured, among many other things, the unveiling of the world's tallest drum, which stands at 13 feet from the ground. Of course, there was also many uncommon displays of performances, dances, exhibitions from an array of drummers, dancers, and other artists from across Nigeria. Of course, after what I call the clarion call, popular demand, everybody saying that we just must broaden the scope of this beautiful festival to African Drum Festival. Of course, we hearken to that call. And Between 28th April, Thursday 28th April, and Saturday 22nd April 2017, we had the first African Drum Festival, which actually was the second in the series, because the first was christened Nigerian Drum Festival. Of course, the third edition of the African Drum Festival was held between Thursday 19th April and Saturday 21st April 2018. Indeed, the idea was that we will always have this in the third Thursday to Saturday in the month of April every year. But unlike the 2017 festival, the 2018 edition was not only a graduation from a national event to a continental event, but also it saw a deepening in context and content. For example, apart from the larger number of participants from within Nigeria and other African nations, the intellectual community was also on hand to document the ethos and the deliverables of the 2018 African Drum Festival. In essence, we were able to expand the frontiers of the African Drum Festival from mainly a cultural activity to a festival on a global platform for cross-examination by academia and international cultural bodies interested in literature reviews. The African Drum Festival has no doubt evolved from a domestic event within Nigeria to become a global cultural festival, receiving attention from the intellectual community. Many thanks to the commitment and selflessness of all our people, and very especially, I once again appreciate our own professor, Professor Emeritus, the first black man to win a Nobel laureate in literature. Of course, Professor Akinwande Oluwole Babatunde Soyinka, thank you, sir, who superintended the international conference and workshop which gave the 2018 African Drum Festival the necessary intellectual flavor. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this year's edition of the African Drum Festival is not going to be anything less in glamour and glee. In fact, it's going to be an advanced and bigger celebration than the last edition. Not just because it's the last drum festival that our administration is organizing, but because we believe that it's about entrenching cultural values that will continue to celebrate all those positive attributes of our lives, and in turn bequeath a legacy which will continue to sustain and promote continued artistic and social economic development in all ramifications. Therefore, let me state that I'm particularly fascinated by the theme of this African Drum Festival, Drumming the Future. This theme is very appropriate at this point in our continent's cultural development, and it also consolidates the theme of the 2018 edition, which was Drumming for Advancement, thereby seeking the social economic contribution of the drumming vocation to the development of Africa. Just at the 2018 festival, the second edition of the International Conference and workshop is scheduled to hold tomorrow, Friday, 26 April 2019, at the Olumo Rock Tourist Complex. And it will be supervised by the festival consultant, Professor Wale Soyinka. The workshop will explore deeper the festival agenda of spotlighting the inherent resources of the drumming vocation, as well as the social economic benefits of the creative industry in developing our society. Rhythms and tonality is the chosen sub-theme for the workshop this year, which will explore the correlation between percussion, that is the rhythm, and tonality, the melody, in African musical composition. This will feature practical demonstration and performances by some of the local and international troops, carefully selected from the hundreds featuring in this year's edition of the festival. All these, among others, are in a bid to promote and sustain the African tradition. This is our own way of preserving our cultural heritage and ensuring that the drum is not just seen as a mere instrument of music, but a unique part of our everyday life. It is gratifying to note that this year's edition is unique. In the olden days, a festival of this magnitude will have been held in an open ground, which might hamper crowd management, having it at the new festival village. This, our new amphitheater located at the central business district of New Abeokuta City Center, is historic, not only because of the opportunity to manage the crowd, but it also preaches to the world the possibility of a marriage between culture and modernization. in an atmosphere where the true percussion of the drums will be well appreciated, managed, and perfectly understood. It is important to note that even though this amphitheater has a capacity to seat about 6,000, when we use all the space, it has the capacity to hold up to 10,000 people if the entire space of the complex is fully utilized. Let me also state that this year's edition of the African Drum Festival has a remarkable future. There's a 50% increment in registered participation with unexpectedly high enthusiasm from Northern Africa. We have Morocco, Algeria, all of those North African brothers and sisters, they are here with us. We have confirmed participation by state troops from 26 Nigerian states, 78 private professional troops drawn from all the regions of Nigeria, 23 international troops from the 5 regions of Africa and Africa in diaspora, and more are still being expected. This is different from the international master drummers participating in the conference workshop. There are several other fixtures which include a purposely packaged 3-part opening featuring exhibition performances by troops representing various regions of Nigeria and Africa, grand parade by participating local and international troops, and spectacular display by allied arts to the drumming vocation. Of course, cultural education and exposition by specially invited traditional rulers and cultural scholars on the importance of drums to the cultural and economic well-being of the nation and the continent. Expanded festival village, of course, you see where we are. Clearly, this is better than where we had the first 3 editions. We have now created zones for artistic interaction, workshops, and free expression of talent and skills by our youth in the tradition of do your own things. Of course, our younger ones are not left behind. We have created a children corner with full facilities to cater for their special interests. Of course, earlier in the day, we launched our Adire logo because we want to take possession. We want to own it. We do not want any other people to say Adire originates from their place. Adire is our own in Ogun State, and we have taken total control of it. We have taken total ownership of it. So today, we did it, I think, we have been at it for about 2 years now. But to the glory of God, we have that trademark. We have that authenticity. It's been authenticated with that badge of honor, that badge of Ogun Standard, that Adire belongs to us in Ogun State. Of course, there will be art and cultural train ride, which will be led by the festival consultant, Professor Wole Soyinka, from Iju Train Station in Lagos to Laderin in Abeokuta. And we are going to go and see one of our icons. Of course, their family, when you mention it, everybody knows they have paid their dues, particularly in the art world. Indeed, beyond that, wherever you hear the Ransom Kuti family, then you know that these are one of our icons. Icons that you cannot quarantine them, you cannot limit them, you cannot localize them to just Ogun State. Indeed, to just Nigeria. Anytime you mention their name, they are like citizens of the world, just like Professor Wole Soyinka is. So we will be unveiling the Ransom Kuti Legacy Museum. We have renovated entirely where Baba and Mama, Professor Ransom Kuti, where they lived, where they raised all their children, including, you know them, needless for me to mention, Professor Ransom Beko Kuti, Dr. Beko Kuti, and the great Abamieda himself, Fela Anikulapo Kuti. Now, infusion of entertainment technology, we are going to showcase this to give the audience memorable experiences through fireworks and calisthenics. Of course, you are going to taste the Ogun State sight and sounds. And of course, as we always do, we are going to reward exceptional talents and skill. Of course, in the past 2 editions, we did this. We rewarded exceptional display of talent and skill by the participating individuals and troops and countries. This year will not be different. Last year, we did the Fela Show and the exhibition. This year, we are going to have the second phase of it. And we are going to have a tribute exhibition of Ogun State performing artists to celebrate the contribution of some of our illustrious sons and daughters. Those that are still with us and some of them that have departed. Let me, in a special way, my apologies, sir, there is no way that we are going to have something like this and we will not remember and salute and celebrate Baba Commander himself, the great Ebenezer Obey Fabiyi. Thank you, sir. And several of our Nollywood artists are here, many of them from the Southwest, not just Ogun State. Indeed, some of them outside even the Southwest. Thank you for identifying with us. Thank you for always, whatever we are doing like this, you always have time to celebrate with us. This tribute exhibition of our Ogun State performing artists, this is designed as to honor all our icons. But this one that we are doing, it is designed specifically to honor our Baba, who I just mentioned, the Juju music legend, Chief Ebenezer Olashupo Fabiyi, a.k.a. Ebenezer Obey. He just marked his own birthday. So we are going to use that to celebrate him. Of course, we are going to do the Itoku Kenta Olumo drum train. It's going to be a town parade on music and the arts. Indeed, I think these are some of the things that have actually been mentioned by the chairman of the organizing committee, that is the deputy governor. And the grand closing ceremony, we give practical demonstrations to the workshop theme of rhythms and tonality through paying tribute to the spirit of one of the Ogun State global cultural icons, Fela Anikulapo Kuti. We are going to feature his memorial band, Egypt 80, led by his equally world-conquering son, Sheun Kuti. So Sheun Kuti will be joining us day after tomorrow on the final day to come and exhibit that trait of his father. So distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the future of our continent is indeed very bright based on the many unfolding ideas and innovations that centers around the drum. It will therefore bring more development to our continent, culturally, socially, and economically. We have taken steps to conduct more research on the drum, which will be showcased through the workshops and then documented so that our history will not be forgotten and the next generation can have a cultural legacy to build upon. It is therefore the duty of each and every one of us to ensure that our culture and tradition does not become extinct. Let me assure you all that even the tenure of my office as the governor of this beautiful state, I will continue to serve Ogun State, though in different capacity. So let me thank the good people of Ogun Central for trusting me again with their mandate to represent them at the National Assembly. I will use my position as the senator representing you in the 9th National Assembly to ensure that this festival is adopted by the federal government as a national program. And thank God, the representative of the Minister of Information and Culture is here. And I know he will be joining us maybe from tomorrow, and we're going to have the closing ceremony together by the grace of God. Let me, on behalf of the proud host of the African Drum Festival, Ogun State Government, and the entire 7.2 million good people of our dear state, welcome all our special guests, diplomatic corps and representatives from other countries, representatives from all our sister states, all the commissioner of culture in all our states, in all the states in this country that are here with us. I want to warmly, warmly welcome you, all our royal fathers, eminent personalities from across the country and the continent, dignitaries, and particularly all the participants, and everybody witnessing this novel occasion. Before I take my seat, let me quickly bring to your notice that we are unveiling the commemorative staff for the 2019 African Drum Festival. Indeed, what we did is that it's just going to be, and I'm going to invite, because he's here with us, the Postmaster General of the Federation, who is a proud son of Ogun State. And I want to thank the Minister of Communications as well. He was supposed to be with us today, but they told me that today, I think they had their meeting today, and all of them will be joining us maybe from tomorrow, or they will be with us on Thursday. So, before I end this address, and before I formally declare the 2019 African Drum Festival open, let me invite all of us to go around our beautiful state capital, Ogun State. Indeed, by the time we will be going to Olumo Rock tomorrow, indeed, you will see, and we want you to see the sight and sound of our beautiful capital city of Ogun State, so that you have a feel of who we are. We are going to have like a ride, like what I said, from Itoku, Kenta. It's going to be like a walk to Olumo Rock, where we are going to have the intellectual aspect of this African Drum Festival. So, I don't know if our chief consultant, if Professor Wole Soyinka can please come and join us here so that we can jointly declare this 2019 African Drum Festival open. Sir, I hope you are not, because you've been waiting since, if you will want to come and join us so that we can declare this open. The representative of the Honorable Minister, I think you may want to join us too, to declare this 2019 African Drum Festival open. Thank you, sir.
Ambassador.
So while we are waiting for them, can we get the microphone for the Postmaster General and all the troops? My apologies. I've been told that the Excellency, the Ambassador of the Republic of Benin is here with us. Thank you, sir. Thank you for being with us today. We appreciate your presence. And so many others that are here with us, we appreciate all of you. Can you bring the commemorative stamp? Can you bring that closer to us? I think you can talk to us, and while I launch that, okay, you are here. Let me first thank you. We are going to give this to all our KBCs, our dignitaries. Maybe you want to talk us through it in 1 minute before we launch this.
Yes.
This is a 100 Naira stamp, African Drum Festival. Please.
Your Excellency, it's my honor and privilege to present to you this commemorative stamp. It internationalizes this African Drum Festival. By this action, we have opened the doors of 192 countries who are members of Universal Postal Union, and all over the world, this event will be seen across all the borders. I congratulate you for this initiative. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you. So, it gives me huge pleasure on behalf of all of us in Ogun State to declare first, let me launch these commemorative stamps, which we hereby launched. I've given one. We are going to give all our KBCs, all our elders, we are going to give them these commemorative stamps. So when next, we are bringing this back now. You know, in those days, we cannot do without stamps. So we are bringing it back. Even electronically, you can actually sit there and it can be used. So I have the honor, the privilege, the sense of duty as the governor of this beautiful state. Where is my drum to declare this? This time I told you the kind of drum that I want to use. It is the Bata one. Yes, let me have it once again. So that is the drum that I want to use to declare this 2019 African Drum Festival open to the glory of God and the continued development, both social and economic development of not just our state alone, not just Nigeria alone, not just even our continent alone. I think by the time we get this right, the whole world will know that we truly, truly are part of this development in our cultural values and sector. Where is my drum? Oh, it's here. Thank you.
Now, His Excellency will be beating the baton.
Festival from Ogun State with the governor himself, Ibikunle Amosun, bringing it to a close and declaring the Festival of the African Drums open. Stay tuned as we bring you, coming up next, the news at 10.
You've been watching a live Channels television event.